Thomas W. Phelan, Ph.D. 1, 2, 3 Magic. Effective discipline for children 2 to 12. Do you like your kids? Of course, you love them and care about them and want the best for them. But would you say that, for the most part, you actually like being with them? Do you miss them when they're away and rejoice when they unexpectedly come home early? Don't feel bad if your answer isn't an immediate and resounding yes. Raising kids is hard and often unrewarding. They don't come with an instruction manual or warning label, and a lot of parents find themselves overwhelmed and unprepared. The cozy family nights and endless laughter and cuteness that you envisioned before they came along often take a back seat to the tantrums, attitude, and arguments. Kids don't always do what you want. They scream when they don't get candy, or they throw their toys down the stairs, or they hit their siblings. This leaves the exasperated parent to navigate the delicate task of discipline, often resulting in the predictable and tiring process of talk, persuade, argue, yell, and, unfortunately for some, hit. Before you know it, the afternoon is wasted, everybody is miserable, and the child hasn't learned a thing. Imagine if discipline could be something quick, simple, and consistent. Think of all the extra time you would have to actually enjoy being with your child. In this blink, you'll learn a method that has helped thousands of parents do just that. With a bit of preparation, patience, and practice, you can implement these techniques with your kids today and start living the family life you always wanted. This isn't magic, but it might feel like it. You'll see. Children, not just little adults. Picture this. Your 7-year-old daughter has spent the whole morning tormenting her 5-year-old brother, hitting, name-calling, provoking, the whole lot. Of course, this behavior is unacceptable, and it's important that she realize this. So you sit her down and calmly explain why she shouldn't do it. It's not nice to hurt people. It makes mommy angry. And how would she like it if someone teased her? The 7-year-old, in a brilliant and mature flash of insight, realizes the error of her ways and brightly declares, "Thanks, Mom, I never thought of it that way." Sounds ridiculous, right? Because that's not how children work. They are selfish. They are unreasonable. They are, quite simply, crazy. The first thing you're going to need to do is challenge this common assumption that kids are just small adults who can be reasoned with. This doesn't mean there's no place for explanation. Tell them once if you need to. But if you're repeating yourself, then it's only going to be irritating for all involved. And this leads to the two biggest mistakes that parents make while disciplining: too much talking and too much emotion. For a kid, too many words can be distracting or confusing, and as you just saw, they often don't work. But why is emotion bad? Kids, by design, are pretty powerless. So when they are able to get a strong emotional reaction from the big, tough grown-up, they get back a little control over the world, and that's immensely rewarding for them. You can see how this would interfere with their ability to learn something productive from the situation. This is hard for some parents to do. Talking and expressing emotion are pretty fundamental parts of being human. But you're going to have to keep it to a minimum if you want discipline to be effective. At the end of the day, you have 3 main jobs as a parent: stop bad behavior, encourage good behavior, and strengthen your relationship with your child. So how can you discipline in a way that will help you do these jobs? Keeping in mind the principles just looked at, let's address the first role of parents: stopping unwanted or obnoxious behavior. Controlling obnoxious behavior. As easy as 1, 2, 3. It's coming up to 6 p.m. and you're preparing dinner for the family. Or at least you're trying to, but your 4-year-old son is screaming on the floor at your feet because you had the audacity to tell him he couldn't have a peanut butter sandwich. You've been here before. Books have told you to ignore the behavior. Your husband wants to spank the boy. Your mother, bizarrely, has suggested a cold cloth on his face. Nothing works. So today, you are trying something new. You look down at the screaming toddler, hold up a finger, and calmly say 2 words. That's one. Nothing happens. The screaming continues. You let a few seconds pass and raise another finger. That's 2, you say clearly and firmly. Still nothing. The boy has used up his 2 chances. You take a breath, hold up 3 fingers, and announce, That's 3. Take 5. Now off to the bedroom for however many minutes. The general rule is about 1 minute for each year of the child's life. When the timeout is over, the door opens, and the day continues as normal. We'll get to the nuances of the timeout later, but for now, let's focus on what you did during the count. Or rather, what you didn't do. You didn't add any comments or reprimands during the 5 seconds between counts. Things like, "Come on now, that's enough," or "Look at me while I'm talking to you," turns it into a fight, and any child would love that opportunity. Note that there was no lecture after the timeout. Your child isn't expected to explain their behavior, reflect on it, or apologize to anyone. They know what they did. The discipline is over, and everyone moves on. This might seem deceptively simple at first. When you start implementing the count, you'll be making it all the way to 3 most of the time. However, if you stick to the rules and stay consistent, after a few days, something amazing will start to happen. Your child will pull their act together after 2, or even 1. Some may even learn to preempt the count and stop themselves before it starts. There are, of course, some caveats. If the child is doing something particularly dangerous or unforgivable, then don't give them 2 chances to stop. Jump straight to 3 and add 10 minutes to the timeout if necessary. Also, spare a thought for what you consider countable behavior. If your child is just fussing because they are uncomfortable, for example, it's best to address the source of the problem. With that in mind, you can start whenever you want. Sit your kids down and explain how things are going to be. Do some role-playing so they know what to expect. Now let's take a look at timeouts. Getting timeouts right. Let's say you've stuck to the rules and your little monster has just thrown her food or talked back or whined about dinner for the 3rd time. You give her a, "That's 3, take 5. And then what? There are a lot of options and alternatives when it comes to the timeout stage. Firstly, you need to get them there.